Hello everybody, happy 2014, I'm Marc Aquino, and as you can tell I got a new locale, if you will, in terms of filming. I used to film off of my laptop, but now I'm actually filming on a real camera. Yeah, this lazy bastard actually got a real camera. Imagine that. But anyway, what I wanted to do before I start making new videos again and start doing the reviews and what have you, just wanted to give you a little look-see of what I have on my shelf, in case anyone asks, hey, what's on your shelf? I'm pretty sure no one will ask that, but what the hell, I'm doing it anyway. Okay, let's kick things off with what's on the bottom of my shelf. First off is various large books, the Marvel and DC Encyclopedia, a Pixar Encyclopedia, the Looney Tunes Treasury. I got that for Christmas a few years back. And I actually am friends on Facebook with the author of this book, Andrew Farago. He's a cool guy, really cool guy. You should check his stuff out. He's really cool. There's a little pin right there. Let me pull that up. It's a pin that I got at RetroCon 2013. It was back in September. See if I can get a shot for that. Let me lay it down. See if I can focus in. There we go. RetroCon 2013. I went to this back in September. Some buddies of mine were gonna have a panel there. The guys at Living in 8 Bits and Cinevore. I actually know the creator of Living in 8 Bits, Michael Decision. He's pretty much my filmmaking mentor. He helped me to make all my short films, from Alpha Guy onto Special. He's a really cool guy. Loves movies. He's the Obi-Wan Kenobi to my Luke Skywalker, if you will. He and his buddies had a panel there. Went to go there to support them. And also, Doug Walker, who is the Nostalgia Critic. He was there along with James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd. So I met both of them. I was especially excited to meet Doug Walker, because, let's face it, that guy made my sophomore year of high school a lot more bearable. Over here you can definitely tell I'm a huge Garfield fan, and I've got plenty of Garfield books. I got the original Garfield book, Garfield at Large, Garfield Gains Weight, all the way up to the more modern books, up to, I guess, 55. I think there are like 57 books so far. Yeah, it's been that much. Over here, let's see, I have Garfield's Guide to Everything. I have in paperback the shooting scripts for Shawshank Redemption and Return of the Jedi. And over here I have a stack of magazines, mainly Empire magazine. Empire magazine is a British film magazine in the UK. It's very, very good. I love Empire. They're probably like the best magazine to have or to subscribe to about movies. I subscribed to them for a little bit. I haven't really read their most recent stuff, but very good stuff. I love Empire. This is what you'll be seeing behind my head as I do future videos. These are all my DVDs, my own private collection. Starting off with all my Pixar films. Now, Pixar has a huge impact on me. Pixar movies are basically my childhood, especially Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Monsters, Inc., Finding Nemo, Incredibles. I love these films, and WALL-E and Bug's Life. I love these movies. Pixar, without a doubt, has had a huge effect on me as a kid, and even up to today. So, yeah, and up above there is a Toy Story box set. I think it has the first 2 films, another DVD copy of Toy Story 2, and up there behind it, and I think a disc of bonus features or whatever, and there's a Garfield DVD over there. And next up is all my Doctor Who DVDs. I have the first season with Christopher Eccleston's Doctor. Very good season. It's like if the show didn't continue on to now, it would make it's a really great standalone season, if you will. At least in my opinion. And then we have the 4th season when we had the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble together. That's my favorite season by far. And that was the season that got me introduced to the show. And then we have the complete 2009 specials, which had all of the 10th Doctor's final adventures, including The End of Time Parts 1 and 2, Garfield and Friends Season 1. Love this set. And I'm trying to get the next 4 volumes, volumes 2 through 5. It's a shame. They haven't really made any other Garfield DVDs ever since. I think Shout Factory should pick the license up for that. They do wonders with that. For those who don't know who Shout Factory is, Shout Factory does a lot of DVD and Blu-ray releases for other licenses like Transformers, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony. They have the license for Power Rangers. They have Power Rangers DVDs now. They have the license for old 90s Nickelodeon shows. They're a really cool company. So I hope someday they'll pick up the license for Garfield. Next up is my 3 Kevin Smith movies. These are actually pretty recent purchases. I got these at a local used DVD and CD store. They were all like $10, like altogether, so good deal. I have Chasing Amy, one of my favorite movies of all time, and it's as a aspiring director and screenwriter, this movie I think is a really required viewing, especially if you want to write like a romance or a love story, because this is probably one of the most honest and frank love stories I've ever seen, and Ben Affleck and Joy Lauren Adams have some very dynamite chemistry in this film, and I loved it. Then there's Chainsaw and Bob Strike Back, which is the complete opposite. It is, absolute, raunchy humor, dick jokes, fart jokes, a lot of gay jokes actually. But it's still funny. It's stupid but funny, and it's supposed to be the final chapter of Kevin Smith's New Jersey films that started with Clerks. But then he would make Clerks 2 after this in like 2006, I think, after the horrible failure of Jersey Girl. And then we have An Evening with Kevin Smith, which he did a lot of interviews and Q&As at colleges back in, I think, like the early 2000s. It's really cool. He has a really funny story about when he was tapped to write a Superman script, and he went to meet the producer for the film, John Peters. If you have the chance, look it up and go rent it on Netflix. It is a really funny story. So next we have what I call my cinema collection. Well, it's basically just random movies. War of the Worlds, the Steven Spielberg version. I love this movie. This was like my first like Spielberg blockbuster that I've seen, and it really got me interested in his films. And next to that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's actually, as I said before, Michael Decision, who created Living in 8 Bits. This is his favorite movie. And I also have a Blu-ray of this, which is downstairs. And then I have, next to those two, Dick Tracy. Very underrated film, in my opinion. And I think it's due for a reboot, if you ask me. If they rebooted that today, it could be pretty good, if done in the right hands. And then we have Shawshank Redemption on DVD. Love Shawshank Redemption. It's like, if you want to be a filmmaker or a writer for movies, that, again, absolute, you have to watch it. If you're a movie fan and you haven't seen it yet, you really owe it to yourself. And then we have The Muppet Movie. Interesting transition from prison drama to, The Muppet Movie. I love this one. It's one of my favorite comedies. And then we have Waking Sleeping Beauty, which, it's like, if you love classic Disney movies like What's on My Shelf, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin and Lion King, and Little Mermaid and all those films, this is a really good companion piece to it. It's a documentary about how Disney animation came back during the early 90s with movies like Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Lion King. And it also shows like how they made those films. It's phenomenal stuff. You should watch. It's definitely worth a rental. And even own it as well. And then we have Beauty and the Beast on DVD, Aladdin, Lion King, the Indiana Jones films, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. Then we have the original Star Wars trilogy, New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi. Do keep in mind, these are the 2004 DVD releases, and I'm kicking myself because I own those. I want to get like the original theatrical versions on DVD, but they're really expensive and hard to find, so yeah. And then next to it is what I call my DC animated collection, which is basically a lot of my DC animated DVDs that I own, starting with Batman Mask of the Phantasm, which I love that movie so much. It's probably my favorite Batman movie next to the Dark Knight trilogy. And we have Volume 3 of Batman the Animated Series, back when it was known to, and which at that point it would be called The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Then we have Volumes 1 and 2 of Superman the Animated Series, Volume 4 of Batman the Animated Series, and the reason why I put it there is that in a lot of ways, I think, because the reason why it's there, because it was with this season that they wanted to integrate the Batman characters with the same style that the Superman show had, so yeah. Then there's Volume 3 of Superman the Animated Series. Then I have the complete series of Justice League. I love Justice League. This is like, I hope to God that the new Justice League movie, they better do it right, because I think this set a really high bar in terms of how you approach those characters altogether. So, yeah. And then I have Superman the movie on DVD, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, which is for me the better version of Superman 2. I didn't really care for the original version. Batman Begins and Dark Knight on DVD. Here are some other movies that I have. Darkwing Duck, Volume 1. I love Darkwing Duck. I remember watching this show when I was a kid, and I really loved it. And I saw this at the same used DVD and CD store that I got Chasing Amy and Jay and Silent Bob, and even with Kevin Smith at. And I got that, I think it was like for $15, so glad for that. And then below that is Rocko's Modern Life, the complete series. I remember watching this when I was a kid, loved it. And when I heard that they put out the complete show for about, I think it was like $25. So, I mean, I couldn't resist. So I got that. And below that are the first two Harry Potter films, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. In fact, let me tell you a little story. I think it was like 2009. I went to visit my grandparents on my father's side in Puerto Rico, and I was staying at an Embassy Suites somewhere in Dorado or San Juan or something like that. And so I was near like the pool area, and I was just, sitting around minding my own business when a huge plethora of Puerto Rican kids, like, I don't know, around 4 or 5 years old, kept running up to me. It's like, hey, it's Harry Potter, because at that point I was wearing glasses that made me look like Harry Potter. So, yeah, that comforted me. Wow, that's really went inside my psyche at that point. So there you have it. That's my my shelf back there, and plus I'm also thinking of taking suggestions for reviews. So if you have a movie or television show you want me to share my insight on, then just hit me up in the comments and I'll take a look at some of the suggestions and I'll see which one I like the most, and I'll do that. Let me know what you think about my new background in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you saw here, then feel free to press the like button, add this video to your favorites, and maybe even subscribe. If you want. No pressure. I'm also hoping to do a 20th anniversary review of one of my favorite films of all time. I won't say what it is, but let's just say it involves, well, and it's also related to something that's on my shelf. So until next time, this is Marc Aquino saying, let's hope I make new videos, because, as I said, I'm a lazy bastard.